Hi everyone, this is Jathu from Property Framework, and today I want to talk about some of the reasons that's stopping you from investing in property. Now, this could be an issue relating to mindset, it could be an issue relating to strategy. So, whatever it is, it's important that you address these issues as soon as possible so that you can confidently invest in property. So by the end of this video, you would have realized what are the common fears that people have around investing, what's stopping them from investing. And if you can relate to any one of those topics, then I really hope that through this video, I can address those concerns of yours and get you started into investing in property because the benefits of investing are massive. Okay, so let's get into this video. Okay, point number one, what's stopping you from investing in property and building out that portfolio? Okay, this is going to sound a bit controversial and some of you might not even agree with it, but the thing is, if you buy your first home and then ignore investing, put investing in the back seat, then that's going to cost you. Personally, I did that same mistake. When I first came to Australia, my focus was just to buy a house in Australia to live in. And even though that was good, we had a house to live in, that was reducing my ability to think about property investing. What I mean by that is I didn't have borrowing capacity left. I didn't have much borrowing capacity left, and therefore I couldn't plan out that portfolio. I couldn't really think about investing in property. So what did I do? After a few years, I sold off that home, and it was then I could seriously start thinking about property investing and how to build out that portfolio. Now, why do I say that starting off with that home is bad? It's because number one, it's going to eat off that borrowing capacity that you have, and therefore it will reduce the amount of borrowing capacity you have for investing in property. On top of that, your home is not generating an income, and therefore banks don't see this as something that's producing income and can help you with serviceability. Your serviceability is going to drop because of that first home. Okay, so if you're someone who wants to really build wealth with investing, then I urge you to consider investing in property first. Have a plan, have a strategic plan. You can rent while you invest in property, and then think about that first home. When you do it that way, you are setting yourself a base, you are setting yourself a chance to build out that portfolio, and it's something that you should seriously consider if you want to build wealth through property investing. Okay, now let's go to point number two. Now let's say you have you know bought a home, but after a few years you have that opportunity to buy investment properties and buy a few properties down the line, but still something is stopping you. Family, friends, and relatives of mine who came to Australia in the 90s, 80s, they bought a house when it was $200,000, $300,000. Now home value is around 1.5 to 2 million. Their focus over the 20, 30 years has mainly been paying off the debt, and they've pretty much paid off that debt on the house, and they are debt free. So they have an asset which is about 1.5 million or 2 million in asset value, but they don't have cash flow coming in from properties. They haven't thought about buying investment properties and building out that wealth. So that's a missed opportunity. If you focus on the traditional approach of paying down debt and be afraid of taking on debt, which is actually good debt, investment property debt is good debt, then that's going to stop you from building out that portfolio. The next one that's closely related to this is not taking out equity. You have a lot of equity available in your home over the years that has been building up and that has been accumulating, but you don't want to take it out and buy investment properties. And that's because you don't see the benefits that could come out of buying investment properties and building out that portfolio. Right? You see it as a hassle. You think it's just maintenance issues that's going to come up. It's a lot of problems, and you think that you might not get anything from it in the long run. That mindset is stopping you from using that equity in your home to buy other investment properties. If you have a lot of equity in your home, then I urge you to start at least thinking about what you can do with that equity. Buy one investment property, one property becomes two becomes three, and then you just let it compound over 10 years. You have an asset base there, which might be giving you a passive income. That's putting you in a much better situation than when you had just had one single home yourself. And please don't be afraid of taking on more debt. Some people are really scared of taking on more debt. They're very fearful of debt. They think that if they take on more and more debt, one day everything would collapse and they would be in a very bad situation. But this is investment property debt. Investment property debt is different. You are buying an investment property, the asset is going up in value, there's rents to cover your mortgage expenses, and inflation is eating away the debt that you own on that property. Do more research around investment property debt, around good debt, and you'll find that there's a lot of heaps of benefits for taking on more and more good debt. If that fear of debt is stopping you from investing property, then I really, really urge you to speak to someone like myself or speak to someone who's built out property portfolios or just do research yourself about debt, about good debt, and you'll find heaps of information around why investment property debt is good debt. The third thing is another fear, like you buy properties, but you're afraid that you're buying the wrong asset. You're buying at the wrong time. You're buying in the wrong location. You're afraid that the asset would not go up in value. Now, I had these fears myself. I was afraid that if I buy a property in this location, it would never go up in value. I'm buying something that's bad. How I addressed those issues was really through the research, by going through research that has been done by data-driven analysts, like people who in the past have done a lot of research on property market data. We have experts like Jeremy Shepard, John Lindemann, who've done a lot of research that's out there, and most of this content is available for free. And when I started doing research on these topics, and that's how I started building confidence around how property markets behave. That's what really helped me understand how much growth can I expect from this market. Is this market going to remain stagnant, or can I expect growth from this market? And that's when I really started understanding the fundamentals of property investing, and it was a game changer for me. So it really goes down back to doing more research. Okay, and the next one, lack of motivation. This is a big one. I think when I first came to Australia, like even before I bought the home, right, I had no knowledge about property investing. I didn't know the benefits of property investing. So if someone had told me, you should build out a portfolio, you can get a lot of income coming through that, I wouldn't have taken it seriously because there was no motivation in me. There was no motivation in me to see the benefits of this, try to explore this further. It was only when I started understanding these topics about how you can use equity to buy investment properties, around how you can build a portfolio and get passive income from that. It was only when I really started understanding how easy it is when you actually know what needs to be done. That was when I started, getting confidence around investing, around what I could do with investing. So it's a question of motivation. So when I speak to some friends, sometimes they say, I just can't afford it, or I don't want to invest in property. And that's because they're not motivated. They're not motivated to speak to a mortgage broker to see how much borrowing capacity they have left. Some of them actually have borrowing capacity left, but there's no motivation or no desire to really understand the benefits of investing to and to start out the property portfolio. Those are some of the reasons that will stop you from investing. I think most of it is around that mindset. If that mindset is fixed and then you do your research correctly, then you're going to find that you will find that make a lot of progress in your investing journey, and you will get started into property investing. I hope you found this video useful. If you had any questions with regards to this, please reach out to me, and please do subscribe. If you like the content in this video, then also give me a like as well. Thank you.